pretty sure I'm the last person to review this movie, but new Spielberg films, so let's do it. So West Side Story is a new musical, and it's also the second adaptation of the Broadway play of the same name, this version being directed by Steven Spielberg. And in West Side Story, in case if you guys have not seen West Side Story, I'll give you all the basic gist. But in West Side Story, the film follows this rivalry between two gangs, the Jets and the Sharks, and amidst this rivalry, this forbidden romance starts to blossom between two characters, Tony and Maria, who are portrayed in this film by Ansel Elgort and Rachel Zegler. Alrighty guys, so let's get into West Side Story.
Excellent!
While I was definitely excited to see West Side Story, I wasn't overly hyped for this film despite the fact that this was directed by Steven freaking Spielberg, one of the greatest directors of all time. He has directed some of my favorite films of all time, whether it's Jurassic Park, E.T., Jaws, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, the list goes on and on. And despite the fact that this was directed by him, at the same time, when I saw the trailer, even though it looked great, I still couldn't help but feel, why is this necessary? I mean, it looks good, but this isn't needed. The original film is a masterpiece. It's not only one of the greatest musicals of all time, but in my eyes, that's one of the greatest films of all time. I'm not a big musical guy, but West Side Story is one of my favorites out there, period. I still went into this film very excited because, once again, who doesn't love Spielberg out there? Seriously. And guys, I am so happy to report that Spielberg has made a film that definitely stands on its own. The majority of the performances here are absolutely incredible. My standouts in this version are Rachel Zegler, Mike Faist, Ariana DeBose, David Alvarez, and a person who prizes, not really reprizes the role, but it's an actress from the original film who has a different role in this film, and that is Rita Moreno. David Alvarez and Ariana DeBose are so good in this movie. Ariana DeBose in this film has a scene in this film that just gave me goosebumps, to say the least. David Alvarez, who plays the new Bernardo, I absolutely loved him. I ate up every single scene that he was in. I loved Mike Faist this movie. Every time he was in this film, the charisma, the presence he had on screen, once again like David Alvarez, and when he was singing, doing the dancing, the musical numbers, could not get enough of him in this movie. Rita Moreno plays a different character in this film, and I love the way that Spielberg not only expanded upon certain elements of this particular character, but also gave her much more of a stronger character arc in this film than she had in the original film. Rachel Zegler in this movie, she is an absolute superstar. This is her first time performing in a film, and I gotta say, for her first time in a film, and for that matter, a Spielberg film, Rachel Zegler is going to go places. She has the screen presence, she has the charisma, she shows so much energy and conviction in her role, but her as a singer, I hope she gets nominated for Best Actress in a Leading Role at the Oscars, because she is that good. Steven Spielberg himself has admitted that the original West Side Story is one of his favorites, and I imagine that Spielberg wouldn't have made this film just for shits and giggles. There are certain things that Spielberg changes, and there are certain things that he expands upon. A lot of the changes that he made from the original film I actually do dig. There are some changes though, I'll get into later on. He directs this film with such flair, precision, energy, to the point where you just sucked into the story the entire way through. From the opening frame of this movie, that Spielberg has a love and a care for this material, that he's just not making his version just for the heck of it. The music and the numbers here in this new West Side Story are absolutely phenomenal. Spielberg directs all the musical numbers like they're a spectacle, like they're larger than life. From the You're a Jet, oh my god, that number was so much fun to watch. The American number, and there's a particular number involving Ansel Elgort, to which I'll talk about Ansel Elgort later. There's a particular number involving him and the Jets that oh my god, that number, I had a smile on my face watching the entire time. As far as I'm aware, unless if I'm not thinking correctly, isn't this Spielberg's first musical? If so, this man, I mean, is there a genre that Spielberg can't do at this point? The moment that the Jets song started, I was tapping, I was snapping. I mean, if you don't snap during the Jets number, I don't know what to say. The cinematography for West Side Story is absolutely gorgeous. One thing in particular that I absolutely love about the way how this film is shot and directed, once again doubling back onto Spielberg's directing, the way this film is shot and framed and how everything is staged with the cinematography. Spielberg directs this movie with this old-timey feel, but once again with his flair. The way that Spielberg moves the camera, the way that Spielberg does the cinematography with Jamus Kaminsky, I'm pretty sure I just flarked his name is so bad. Everything feels so larger than life, and oh my god. During all the musical numbers and the way how they're shot, I had such a great time and I had a smile across my face the entire time. The production design here is absolutely incredible, and I would not be surprised if this film gets nominated for a crap ton of technical categories besides Spielberg's directing in this film. West Side Story as well is one of the most well-paced films I have seen all year. West Side Story is about 2.5 hours long, but man, this film did not feel like 2.5 hours. This movie breezes right by, and at the very most, I would say this West Side Story feels like maybe an hour and 45 minutes.
Well, that's just fucking great!
I had heard many people out there saying that this is either one of the best films of the year, or with some people that this film is even better than the original. Do I agree with any of those sentiments? I unfortunately do not. I thought the majority of the performances here were incredible. One performance here does stand out like a sore thumb, and that is Ansel Elgort as Tony. I'm not here to talk about the allegations because I'm here to talk about his performance in the film. I just didn't buy him as Tony in all honesty, and when it came to his singing just, I don't know what it was. His dancing was great, do not get me wrong there, but when it comes to his actual singing, I felt that he was all over the place in terms of his singing. There's one particular change about the structure of the film that felt very jarring. Spielberg, for this version of West Side Story, decided to not only expand upon certain things, but he changed certain things about the structure. I don't want to say too much because I feel like it's going to spoiler territory despite the fact this film has been out for like, what, 5 days already? But still though, for your guys' sake, in case you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it for you all. I don't know why he made this change. It's a very big change, and I know that some people have enjoyed the change, but for me personally, there's a big scene that happens in this movie, and then a number happens right afterwards. But I just felt, why put that after that scene? Shouldn't it have been earlier in the movie? Any Spielberg film out there has flair, energy, precision, but it also has this big heart and it has emotion to it. Unfortunately for this film, I felt like that this film didn't really have the emotion of the original film. The emotion, just for me personally, just was not there.
And here we go.
So overall, I really dug West Side Story a lot. Unfortunately, I didn't love it. Nonetheless though, Spielberg updates this classic with flair, precision, energy. I found myself tapping and snapping, especially with the Jet song. Rachel Ziegler is a superstar, and man does that 2.5 hours fly right by. All in all, I'm gonna give West Side Story a 4 out of 5. I unfortunately didn't love it like a lot of people out there, but it's still at a great time, and I still highly recommend you see the new West Side Story. So comment down below and let me know, and once again, I do apologize if this review is a bit late, but nonetheless, please comment down and let me know below, what is your favorite Spielberg film of the last 10 years? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I'm also on Snapchat, so if y'all want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links and the usernames are in the description below. I hope you all enjoyed my review of West Side Story. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell for when my latest review goes live. If you guys want to see any of my previous 2 videos or reviews, please click on the left or right side of the screen. And of course, until my next review goes live, I'll see you all next time.